here. It's a steamy July. All right, let's do it. Let's get moving. Let's sweep some dew, right? Some dew sweeping live here on the old YouTube channel. British Open underway this morning. Enjoyed catching some of that before we headed out. I'm not running the tee markers here, but looked like Justin Thomas, speaking of SEC golfers, was off to a good start, but then JT at 4 under doubled the, I think it was a 12. I think the tee shot would be into the gorse over there. Look at those geese, man. They crap everywhere. Made a 6, went back to 2 under, and then I think had a bogey after that to go to 1. And so dropped him back. I think 2 under was a lead though. So nobody to that point was just going crazy at Troon. And so we'll be keeping tabs on that. But obviously a lot of interest in the ongoing, wrapping up now, SEC Media Day. Seems like it takes forever to get here, right? And it's sort of like Christmas when you're 10 or 11 years old, maybe 8. It comes and goes with a flash. And that's okay, because as much as anything, as I've always said about SEC Media Days, more a fan of what it symbolizes than what it actually provides. Symbolizes the approach of another college football season. So we dig that, but it gets a little corny after a while. I'll say this though, the surreality, right, of Nick Saban sitting at the set for SEC Network and ESPN while Kalen DeBoer is on the other end of the ballroom addressing the media. That was something that I don't know many of us were prepared for, say, 6-7 months ago, but it's here. I'll say this for Kalen too. Kalen has made himself accessible to pretty much every outlet and entity you can think of this offseason. It's going to be interesting for him because I think he's going to come to that reality that at some point you got to say no more than he would probably like, because I think he's genuinely just a good dude who enjoys people. But with the demands that come with that job, and I think what helps Kalen too is he's more trusting maybe in his help. Here's that tee shot, left edge of the fairway. How about that for a sunrise too? Not bad. That's gonna be like we got water left, and so your boy's gonna have to hit his paw 9 wood. And your boy does have on his paw sun sleeves. I'll come around to. I'm just trying to keep it more outright than anything else. Give myself a pitch. Never hurt anybody first thing in the morning. But I do think Kalen, with Courtney Morgan and all the recruiting that's been going on and been killing it on that front, is a guy that isn't afraid to delegate. And I think some people see that, and in the back of their mind they think, wow, kind of feels like Mike Shula a little bit. But no. The thing with Mike was he was such a pro guy, in my opinion, that he just didn't totally get the importance of recruiting your butt off on a daily basis. And there were some things in play with Mike too. Probation, most notably, and an administration at that time that was so safeguarded because of the concern of the probationary window, that anything bordering on gray area was met with a quick, swift no from compliance. And so, you know, those are some of the differences. But Kalen absolutely gets it from a recruiting perspective. I think Kalen's in a good spot too, because you got Nick Saban, you got really all of the media talking about Georgia and Texas. And that's understandable. I mean, those are two teams. Georgia didn't make the college football playoff last year, thanks to Alabama, but Georgia was a college football playoff caliber team. No one questions that. Texas made the college football playoff. And despite the fact that a Kalen DeBoer coach team beat Texas in the CFP, you like what Sark's got going there. He's got his quarterback coming back, added some key pieces, including a couple from Alabama via the transfer portal. So sets up nicely right now. If you're Kalen DeBoer, great. Let all the talk be about Georgia and Texas. You don't see Texas in the regular season. You do see Georgia, but you get the dogs in Tuscaloosa. And so, all things considered, I think it's pretty good for Kalen DeBoer. Now, for us, right here, where this pitch shot is concerned, we'll see. I've played this one before. I bet you can tell by now. Right of this green, because of all that water over there. Got kind of a two-tiered green with a swale in the middle. All you got to do is really get this going to the right a little bit. And that first slope is going to feed you down there to that pin. Enough of the talking, right? Kind of like SEC. See what the old boy can do. First thing on a Thursday morning? Absolutely not. You know, for a bogey golfer, 15.9 handicap. I'm not 16.1, by the way. I'm not 15.5. I'm 15.9. That's the GAHIN for your boy. And now we're gonna have this this little par putt with these whiskey hands. You know, whiskey hands sometimes early in the morning don't work so good. Hopefully we'll be able to get it done. In Dallas, sounding like folks. You know what's interesting though? We hear stuff like this in the preseason a lot of times, that, oh man, Alabama's not going to be the pick, or Alabama's not going to be a pick for the SEC championship game. And it's different this year because we don't have divisions. And then how many times under Nick Saban would we see Alabama still either as the pick to win the West and or the overall conference champion. It's always easy for a lot of folks to talk Alabama out under Nick Saban, but when it came time to vote, the vote didn't always go that way, you know. So I got to be careful with polling. But this has kind of been a test run for Golf and Gridiron here at Ryer on YouTube. I've enjoyed it. I've gotten my steps in. I'm about 4 holes into this thing. I got about 5 to go. Coming up next, I got a par 4. Little doggy right. Couple bunkers on the left that have my name on it out there in the fairway, but we're not going there. We're not going to do it. First and foremost, hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll talk to you again real soon.